good night, everyone. Good night, and welcome to the final entrepreneurship episode of her White for Ministry focus of the month. We've been talking about entrepreneurship all month long, and tonight will be especially great for our viewers because we are talking to Shanice Johnson, the owner of the popular fashion boutique Cutely Covered, and it's going to be an incredible experience. So let me just give you a little bit about Wife Her before we jump in. So Wife Her stands for Wife Healed, Empowered, Restored. Our basic mission, our fundamental mission is to help women become her, to become healed, to become empowered, to become restored. And that's across all marital statuses. So every month we have a focus of the month. And for January, it happened to be entrepreneurship. So we spoke with various women across this topic. So we spoke with moms, we spoke with single women, we spoke with wives about their journey into entrepreneurship and their success. So I just want to go ahead and tell you a little bit about Shanice, and then we're going to jump right in. A little bit of housekeeping. You can ask us questions all throughout this. Do not feel as if you have to wait until a certain point to ask questions. You can say hi. So make sure you say hi in the comments. Let us know you're here. Let us know where you're joining us from. You definitely keep the comments going because that helps us on the stage. Yes, I see someone says, that's my cousin. I'm excited. We're so happy to have you on board tonight. So Mompreneur Shanice Johnson received her MBA. She received her MBA back in 2018. Before launching into retail, she had a successful career in the finance industry. And today, she is owner of the popular clothing boutique Cutely Covered. She will share her journey into entrepreneurship, why she launched her business, how she thrived and expanded in 2020, and how she finds harmony as wife, mom, and boss. So I'm just going to welcome Shanice onto the stage tonight.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank
I'm
you.
so happy we got to have you in tonight because I know my girl is busy. I know my girl has a lot going on. You are an involved mother. You are a devoted wife. You are a business owner. And you also spend time investing in your relationships. I saw that, you've been pulling your mommy into the business more recently.
Yes,
Shout
yes.
out to women over 50 doing their thing, looking
Exactly.
snatched.
She's so happy.
And so you are finding a way to do it all. Maybe you don't always feel like you're balancing, but women, they still see you excelling, and we want to know about your journey. I see your husband is on the line.
Yes, he is.
Welcome. Let me put his comment on the screen.
Oh,
Hey,
love
hubby.
you. Love you.
So why don't you tell us about yourself?
Okay, so to everyone here, hi. So happy to be here. Thank you, Semi, for having me. So about me, first of all, I'm a woman of God, a wife, a mother, a businesswoman, and I try to be everything in between all at the same time. So my background is actually in finance, and I worked in oil trading. And in 2017, I left my job to move abroad with my husband for him to further his studies, to specialize. And so I was excited to leave and to start this journey with my husband and to move my daughter and for, I guess, to be a stay-at-home mom because it sounded good. And I just was excited. Why would I come to work every day if I could just stay at home and be a mom and cook and, do whatever? It sounded so good and I couldn't wait until I got into the role of being a stay-at-home mom. And it's definitely not as glamorous for me as it sounds. It's some people do it and they do it really well. But for me, I realized that I missed, being a working woman, I missed
Yeah.
actually, having to wake up in the morning and get ready and, make money, because that's what my job was. At my previous job, it was about the dollars and how we can make the company money and P&L and all that sort of stuff. So being at home with a toddler, in reality, for me, wasn't the experience that I thought it was. And I was just like, I mean, I loved being home with her, but I just missed, getting up every morning and, doing something. And I always wanted to be a business owner anyway. So I took that time and I, tried to, I said, I'm going to start a business and, because I miss working anyway. So, and now that I'm not, it's the perfect time to, pursue that. I always wanted to be a business owner. Even when I was working full time, I had desires of being a business owner. So I said, okay, well, since I miss doing stuff, then it's the perfect time to give it a shot. So I did that. I did my research and I had to find out, well, when you're starting a business, there's a lot of research, groundwork, figuring out how to do things, especially when you're an online business, because it's just different than a brick and mortar. It's just totally different. So yeah, that's where the journey started. That's how Cutely Covered was birthed.
And
And
even going back, you always love fashion. Like you used to model and stuff
always,
in high school.
yeah. So I always was a fashion girl. That's just who I am. I was always like that. Even when I used to show up to the office when I was on the people job, I'm sure many days I used to be like, "Who she thinks she is? Look at these." Especially because like our office, we were mostly Swiss people and they were really casual. So they, the office very casual. But me, no, I'm coming to the office in my heels, my 6 inches, my suit, my, like that's
so
just,
why? So
yeah.
if all the businesses you could have started, why a clothing business? What was appealing about retail?
A clothing business because that was my passion. I love to dress up. I love to put things together. I love to shop. And that's, I guess, the Bahamian in me, because we are naturally shoppers. Everyone in my family, but even like when I was, where I just shopped a lot. I just always loved shopping for clothes, putting things together. I just have a closet full of clothes. Not that I even go anywhere, but I just always like to shop. And so, even some people, like my aunts and other people would comment like, "Girl, you always shopping, you shop." So, but yeah, that's just who I was. And that just proves that, no matter what it is that you love to do, whatever your passion is, you can always, embrace your passion into, something lucrative.
And that's really good, because a lot of people kind of jump over their passion. They jump over these things that seem like they're just such a part of my personality. Like me as a writer, I jumped over the opportunity to be a journalist or whatever, but it's a part of everything that I do. And it's literally the path of least resistance. Like you with fashion, it's a part of so much of your life. It was a path of least resistance, and we see the fruit of that today. But let's go into like the brand image of Cutely Covered. How did you come up with the name Cutely Covered? Because from Chrisette Michelle down to whoever on the street, they remember this name and they immediately put in their mind thoughts about what the company is about.
Yes. So I was taught, I wanted something cute. I wanted something catchy. I wanted something that when you heard it, you kind of knew what it was about. You know what I mean? So I was tossing between a few names. I was even tossing between Gorgeous and Godly and something else we covered. Like I was just tossing around a few names. And I know how we as Christians can be sometimes judgmental. So I didn't really want to put like godly in the name, but I still wanted, when people heard it, they knew that it was something like for women who, wanted to look good, but still be kind of reserved. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so that's how I came up with Sweetly Covered. I had a list of names, and that one I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go with this.
So when you did your research, what really stood out to you as things you probably were really glad you knew beforehand through research versus first-hand experience?
Well, for anyone starting a business, you have to kind of do your research because it's something you're entering into something that you've never really dealt with before, or you haven't, and it's not like you're starting a new job and you have someone there to train you. Like, you kind of have to do your research because you're going to learn through what you read or through trial and error. So, and I look everything up. So I had to do a lot of, reading books, mentorships, paid programs. Like, if you want information, like, you have to go, one step further. You can't just like Google. You have to like pay to hear what people have to say who did the same thing that you're aspiring to do, and learn from their experience. So I knew that it was something like, although I had a passion for fashion, I knew that being a retailer was something new to me, and so I knew that I had to do a lot of research to get it done.
I love that you said that you were not afraid to invest. Even prior to having any money, even prior to knowing how it was going to come out, you invested in making sure that you had a great start. And
Yeah.
so many people, they just wake up and say, I want to start a business. I have enough money to buy merchandise. I'm just going to start.
Hmm.
Do my little Shopify page, set up
Hmm.
my Instagram, set up my Facebook, and I'm launching, right? But
Hmm.
it sounds like you were very intentional
Hmm.
about that. You're only, the business is, I think, only, this is the third year of business.
Yeah. Hmm.
You expanded, you're based in New York, you expanded, you have office space, you have staff now. If you
Hmm.
look at her page, she is legit, you guys. She has over 100,000 followers.
Hmm.
And this is a Bahamian, born and bred Bahamian, who built her business from the ground up. She didn't buy it from somebody, she built this on research and investment. So let's go back to investment. How much did you invest into initially starting your business in terms of like inventory, branding, whatever, what it looked like?
Okay. Well, when I started my business, I don't want to put a number on it because I don't want people to feel if you don't have X amount of money that you can't start a business, right?
Okay.
It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a huge amount of money. But when I did it, I didn't do it correctly, and I'll tell you why. When I started my business, I didn't have a following. I started from zero. As a matter of fact, I celebrated when I even got 100 followers. I I did. So I bought inventory and I had no customers, right?
Yeah.
So I think that it's important for people to know that when you're starting your business, you have to allocate to marketing. That's very important. You're not going, it's not a fly by night, it's not a get rich quick. Like, you're going to have to invest in marketing because even if you have like the best products in the world, if no one knows who you are, you're still not going to get any sales because although your products may be so good, people don't know how to find you or how to shop with you. So you have to get the word out there. And to get the word out there, you are going to have to allocate, you're going to have to come up with a marketing plan, and you're going to have to allocate money towards marketing. So
Mm-hmm.
when I started, although I researched, I had trial and error because I came and I bought, I was like, oh, I want a nice I want to launch with a good collection, And I went and I was like, okay, I want this amount of dresses, this amount of tops, this amount of bottoms. But that wasn't the correct way to launch a business because you have to allocate like equal amount maybe for marketing. And so you can't expect to make money initially just coming out the gate. You're going to have to allocate it and know that you're going to have to spend money to, get people to know your brand. And some people,
Yeah, definitely.
yes, and I don't want to put a number on it either because I don't want people to think that you have to spend 500 or 1,000. You spend what you can spend initially because people, because some people say they started their brand with $500. If you started your brand with $500, then, you know, good that it worked out, but you're going to have to definitely, you know, save your money and see what you can do. Like, I don't want to discourage people and say, well, if you don't have $1,000 or if you don't have $2,000, you can't start a business. You know, you can save your money and start with what you do have, but just know that you're going to have to, in addition to having your products, you're going to have to, you know, find ways to, you know, get people to either promote your product for free or pay, you know, to promote.
So what steps did you take to start to see a change in you know, business? Because you probably was sitting on this inventory, like it's not moving. What did you do to change to start to see that shift in moving the inventory?
Well, marketing, whether it's paying for ads or influencers or a combination of both, I realized that I had to market in order for inventory to move. It's just like, and I think a big mistake that we make is we think that when we're starting a business, that our family and our friends, they're going to come rushing through the door.
Oh, yeah, that's not true.
No, let me buy this.
They'll say congratulations, but they
don't
count the wallet.
Exactly. So, you know, that's reality is that your first customers are not going to be, you may get like a sale here and there from your friends and family, but it ain't going to be a line of them. It's just not going to be a line of them waiting to buy from you. That's just, you know, sadly, it's not what it is. So, yeah, so you definitely.
But I remember in the beginning when you launched, you used at first to use some Bahamian influencers. So, yeah, so more so micro influencers. You use that frame of, even though your company was not in the Bahamas, you were still in Jamaica at the time, I think.
Yes, I was still there.
What do you say was more effective? Like, did you ship free stuff to them? Did you give them a discount code and tell them purchase from me? What approach did you take in terms of working with influencers in the beginning?
Well, I sent free product.
Okay.
Sent free product. And some influencers, you know, are just anyone, people, you know, maybe a makeup artist, it may be, you know, someone from your church, whoever, you know, you can send product to them. Hey, I want you to, you know, I want to get this to you, you know, can you wear it? Can you please post it and tag my business? You know, just to get the word, to help with getting the word out.
And obviously that paid off, because I was a little afraid about that. I'm like, I have this inventory. If I start shipping inventory all over the place, like, what am I going to have to sell? But I guess you have to do that in terms of actually getting the word of mouth out there, having people actually see themselves in the clothing.
Yes. Well,
so
that's the way to get it out, for sure.
So you talked about, you said Facebook ads, or you said purchasing ads, social media ads, and influencer marketing. Which one do you think had the best ROI, return on investment, between Facebook ads and influencer marketing?
I would say it depends. And the reason why I say it depends is because when choosing influencers, and you learn this with experience, it's important to choose people who already have the audience that you want to tap into.
Okay.
So yeah, so if I send it to, if I send a product to an influencer who, you know, they're although they're a woman, their audience may be interested in something not related to fashion. Yeah, you know, but that's not what, they're not going to be interested in my stuff because that's not what I'm selling. So, you know, so it's important to know the person's audience and also how engaging they are, the kind of things that they may be interested in. You know, when working with influencers, that's very important because that definitely impacts your return.
So what's it been like working with influencers? Have people been rude to you, or have people been receptive? I guess now they're better. They're like, oh yeah, of course. But in the beginning.
Yeah. Well, in the beginning, you know, if no one knows who you are, then it can be a bit of a challenge. And you have people who, you know, don't even respond back to you. Not that you're asking them to do anything for free, you know, because I don't expect anyone to do anything for free, so if I'm reaching out to someone, I'll ask what their rates are, or that I'm interested in working with them. And then obviously in a professional email, because you want to be professional when you're reaching out to people. But yeah, I think that, I haven't had, well, I did have one rude one. And I was like, you know what? Y'all better thank the Lord. But, but, um, yeah, for the most part, yeah, other than you just have to take a chance with everything in business. You have to take a risk, and you have to put yourself out there. Like me being in finance, I don't go and just start a conversation with people and say, hey, can I, so it's certain things you have to get used to, and you have to kind of, adapt accordingly.
So what is the operational setup of your business when you first started? And also let's talk about when you first started.
Well, when we first started, we were home-based, because we were just starting. We didn't have like a whole lot of customers, or like a magnitude of orders to get out. But now, we have to have office space, and we have office space now. And we're actually we just moved not too long ago, and we're gonna soon need to expand.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Because things have gotten so hectic. But yeah, when you get to a certain level, you're definitely gonna have to find space, have shelving, like a warehouse area set up for your inventory, an office space set up for your employees, computers. Yeah, so we have an area now for fulfillment, where the shelves are, everything they need to package orders to ship out. And then we have a desk area where we have, customer service, marketing, myself, and, the other staff that are in the other area, a little bit away, close to, but, separate from fulfillment.
I see on the website now that customers have an opportunity to call in. What was the motive for affording your customers that option? And what motivated that, and what have you seen in terms of the experience for customers by having that ability to call in?
Yes. So any given day, we would have over 100, almost 200 emails. And
wow.
and some of the stuff are urgent, and if we and because of the volume of emails, like if someone says, hey, I placed an order, but I made a mistake on my address and I need it to be corrected, order goes out, like, because we have so many emails on a daily basis, it's like we would miss it, because when you're trying to answer in the first come first serve, and then I realized too that people would email product questions and stuff, like things that can be easily just, hey, does this have stretch, hey, like fast stuff, like like that. So yeah. And also in what we're going through right now with e-commerce and all sorts of websites stealing your photos and scams and different things, I thought that it was important to have where you can call us, you can speak to a live person if you have any questions, if you want to
bot, yeah.
Exactly, not a bot. If you want to make sure that, hey, the business is legit, or I saw this photo on someone else, with people stealing your pictures, but I saw this picture on another website. Are like, is it really you, or So I just thought that although I get why people don't have phone lines. It's expensive to hire someone to answer the phones. That's cutting into your profit. But I also, on the other hand, realized the importance of it. And so, I decided to make the investment in doing that to, have a higher level of customer service for our customers.
I think I don't bounce around on a lot of pages because I haven't been. I'm trying not to shop like that. But I think that's kind of, I mean, it doesn't sound like it because it's like old school, but it sounds kind of revolutionary in
Mm-hmm.
terms of the online boutique space. In
Mm-hmm.
terms of even the fact of letting someone call you, you sometimes people hide their number way at the bottom, but your
Yeah.
number is plastered at the top to say, if you have an
Uh-huh.
issue, call me. So I
Mm-hmm.
really love that added touch of saying, we want to help you. We want you matter to us. Like I'm
Yes.
gonna invest in, answering your question, making sure I meet your needs. So that's really important. And so I
Mm-hmm.
want to pivot again in terms of like the business itself. I
Mm-hmm.
know you visit trade shows, you don't just shop online. And so
Mm-hmm.
how important are going to trade shows and how important are trade shows for your business and going into this retail space?
Yeah. Okay. Well, to me, it's very important to go to trade shows because I am the type of person I like to think outside the box. I like new, fresh things, and I like to see like what's gonna be trending next season. I like to stay on top of trends to know what to buy for our business. So when you're in fashion, trends are important, and also having like everyone wants to know what's new and what's hot. So the way to go with that, is to invest and to travel and to see what's new, what's hot, what's going to be hot next season, and to buy ahead of time, and to make sure that my store is gonna get the newest, hottest, everything. Like I want to make sure that. So that's why I make the investment, and I go. But you also have people that don't travel and they still do well. But it's just a matter of preference. Like I prefer.
Yeah, and I think
Mhm,
so. Do you build a relationship with the companies more
mhm.
so when they see you face to face? You think?
Yes, it's important to build relationships with suppliers, and
Mm-hmm.
so that's another reason why I travel as well, is to see suppliers face to face, to interact with them, to ask questions, to see, touch, feel items before I purchase them for the store, to have that experience, and also if there's something that maybe I may see something and I want to maybe be like, well, can I have a different color, or, then,
Mm-hmm.
so if you want to purchase, we can manufacture that for you. You know what I mean? So it's important to build that relationship with them. And
And so
two,
when you're going
new
through,
things, they would send it to you
they
first.
let you know first. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
Mhm.
So what about the things that because you can't just walk into a trade show, guys. So what do you need to go to a trade show? And then from that question, let's
Mhm.
talk about what you need to establish your business. So what do you need to go to a trade show?
Okay, so to go to a trade show, you need to have your business license, just to prove that you are purchasing for a store, because they don't sell if you're buying just one for you to wear tonight, they don't sell like that. You have to buy, in quantity, in certain amount of quantities. So you would definitely need a business license, and you would have to register ahead of time to go.
And then to start your business, again, you need your business license. I don't know if there are unique things you need being in New York. You have an EIN. Well, you have to have an EIN because you have
Yeah, but
staff.
it's different
Yeah.
for every state. So I always advise people to, kind of do your research on that, because the requirements in the state that I'm in may be different in Miami, or, wherever else. So I always encourage people to do your research, probably call, to find out, hey,
Yeah.
I want to come in to obtain a business license. What do I need? And what I also tell people as well is, maybe you may want to speak to a lawyer and accountant when going into business, so you can
Mm-hmm.
business structure.
Yeah.
If you want, I recommend, speaking to someone about it, so that what's most important when setting up a business, even more important than making money, is to make sure that you have your paperwork and your legal matters are done correctly. Because if you're making money and then someone comes and sues you, then so you just have to make
Mm-hmm.
sure that you find a good lawyer, to make sure that everything is done properly and in order.
Definitely. What kind of, I mean, when you say sue you, you talking about disputes with clothing or
I'm talking people
branding
want to
or
sue you for anything, okay? People will threaten to sue you for anything. A button missing,
customers?
a button, not even missing, just any little petty thing. Like, if they send a return to you and like a lady, she sent a hat back to us and she squeezed it in a little small little box and it came back flat. And I'm like, the return policy, a customer service person was like, the return policy says it needs to be returned, in the manner that was it.
In which it was sent.
Yeah, why would you think of squishing a big hat in a small box, And so she said she was going to sue me because of that. So, but at that like in the beginning, if someone says they're going to sue you, you may panic a lot. But I'm not afraid of lawsuits. I have a great relationship with my attorney who's on payroll. So now I'm just like, I shrug it off like, okay, you're going to sue me? Okay.
So you had an attorney from day one, or you saw the need when you started to have stuff like this happen?
Yeah. I didn't have an attorney from day one. I should have, but I didn't. But when I did get an attorney, I made sure that, things were like, hey, I need to make sure that I'm protecting, my assets. I want to make sure that, yeah. So even if someone's going to wants to sue me, like when you have your stuff set up properly, it's
you're
like,
not concerned.
you're not concerned.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, sue me,
Anyway, I'm sure you have stories for days.
Yes, I
If
have
you did reels on that, I'm sure it would be hilarious.
Yeah.
So I know, like with COVID, I know COVID had an impact on your business. You can't go to trade shows like you used to. I'm sure it's more so been online, WhatsApp based, and stuff like that. But what was the impact of COVID on your business? And I know you had a unique experience in terms of your COVID experience. You actually expanded during
Yes.
that time. Even though you sell clothing, you don't sell a lot of loungewear. You sell clothes like I getting dressed. I'm posing, but I guess people was dressing up for the living room because you actually did very well during COVID. So talk about the impacts of COVID on your business in particular, ways that you had to pivot. Did you get discouraged in the beginning? And what did you change to make sure that you excelled through 2020 and beyond?
Okay. So, yes, our experience was unique, and I thank God for that because during COVID, in the midst of many companies, closing down, many small businesses closing down and not being able to survive it, it's definitely a blessing. And so, when COVID first started, I thought, well, okay, it's over now. People aren't going to be going anywhere. People are losing their jobs. People are sick. I just thought that, and I think mentally, when you heard COVID at first, you're just like, okay, like that's it, but in the midst of, I prayed about it. And when you're a business owner, many, many days you feel like, okay, this isn't worth it. I want to give up. I had the feelings, a lot of times before, like, okay, I just want to give up. It's tiring. You're not, seeing in sales, the sales aren't matching your effort. It's all a part of the journey. And I prayed about it. And I tell people that when I pray for things now, I pray for God to order my steps. And I'll tell you why. I had given up during my business. I was like, you know what? I'll just go back into work and I'll, still have my business, but do my business part-time. And I was applying for jobs and got a call back to a commodity trading company here in New York. And I was like, not feeling it. I was like, you know what? I'm just not, I changed my mind. So it was like kind of crazy because I was like, I changed my mind. I was praying at first that okay, I just want to go back to work. God, just get me, help me find a job. And then and then when that happened, my mindset had changed. And I was like, you know what, God, if I'm gonna decline this, like, I just really need for you to order my steps. And I started doing a lot of research and finding new ways to market my business, because when you're online, marketing is king. And just by like praying to God, writing down, different things, trying different things, you find out what works. And then when you find something that works, you work it until it no longer works. And then you go on to something, whatever works for you. And, just by doing that, like, we basically went from feeling like we want to give up at certain times because it was hard, which it was, like seeing 6 figures a month. And it's only God, and I often thank God, because I'm like, thank you for like giving me that feeling. Although I prayed that I wanted a job at that point in time, that, just helping me decline, because having a mindset shift, because sometimes when we pray for something, like if you pray for him to order your steps, he may have bigger plans or bigger doors for you to step in than what you think you want to pray for. So I'm praying for a job, but then, by me turning around and having a mindset change and just, studying and praying to God just to order my steps, like, he led me to, something more lucrative and something that I would enjoy more. So when it comes
Amen. You just preached a word over there. I need to just touch and agree for this 6-figure month. Touch and agree. Who else is wanting to touch and agree for 6-figure months in your business?
Yes.
Let me just put this comment on the screen. Your cousin says, "Don't sue my cousin." So, word, don't sue my cousin. Okay, so even in COVID, but COVID presented some challenges because your daughter ended up being homeschooled again. I think she was homeschooled before, but now you're in a different stage of life with business picking up, and your daughter is doing virtual learning. Your husband is you long distance for the most part because he's still specializing. And so you are balancing all of this. So how do you find harmony in making sure that you're present for your daughter, making sure that your husband feels like he's getting enough Shanice, enough Mrs. Johnson, to sustain everything, to make sure everything is staying in harmony?
Well, it's hard. It's very hard. I won't say that it's easy, because it's not. Being a business owner alone is hard. So being a business owner, wife, and a mother it's extremely difficult. Especially now that with COVID, my daughter is on virtual. Listen, many days I'm like, Lord, just give me the patience,
Soundtrack is mommy.
Yes, every second, and like, oh my God, it's hard. But I encourage people all the time to just like remember, your why, the why you started your business, the why, you wanted to become a mother, the why you wanted to get married. Like, even when it gets hard, you just have to remember, like, this is what I wanted. This is what I still want. This is what makes me happy. Like, my family, above like being a business owner and, a boss, making a lot of money. Like, above that is my family, my husband, and my daughter. So even when things get hard, because most days are hard, that kind of keeps you on track and on balance. And even like me, I work long hours, like from morning till late in the night. And, I now start, like, because before I'll just be like, I'll go the whole day and realize that it's 9 o'clock in the night and I haven't eaten, I haven't drink any water. I haven't done anything. So, and I realized that when I line off my goals and what I want my life to look like, my relationship with God and my family, they're up there, more higher than, money or being or my business. And so I just, try to remember, to check in with my husband, just something as simple as like, hey babe, how's your day going? Or, I'm thinking of you, hope everything's going well. Something, as simple as that, just to take a second or to check on, your daughter, come give mommy a kiss. You're doing so good in school today. You're doing such a good girl.
Affirmation. I affirm you, baby girl.
Yes. So just taking a little time out away from the hectic, just to affirm. Mm-hmm.
And I try to set as many mothers free as I can, because I had a very busy mom.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was a nurse, and she would get called out of bed in the middle of the night if there was an accident, if there was somebody who get cut with a machete, if there was a stabbing, plane crash, whatever it may be. My mommy was jumping up and going. When I had chicken pox, even though my mommy was a nurse, I had chicken pox by myself because she had to go and tend to other people. But there's nobody in the world I love more than my mom. And my mom has been gone. This year would make 19 years. And I remember her. I remember her laugh. And so she made an impact on my life. And so mothers may think, oh, I'm so busy, I'm not being as involved. But that little, I love you, baby, or you so nice, or even playing with their hair, like all that stuff is meaningful, And so no matter what you could do, as long as you do a little bit a day or a little bit a week, and you make sure when you're present, you're actually present.
Yes.
That's all they need.
Yes.
That's all they need. And I'm speaking as a grown woman
who
had a busy mom who was no longer here. I only had 12 years. And so, I just wanted to set as many women as I can set free with that testimony. Let me set you free. Just invest what you can, but make it quality. And that's all you could ask for. And so even talking about that, what tips do you have for women who may be dealing with mommy guilt? I know that's really common.
It is common, and I've had mommy guilt as well. But what I've learned is to just make an effort to take time out of your day to spend with them. And that's what I do with my daughter. Although I have to, manage employees and, reorder and make sure this and deal with the accountants, deal with this, deal with that. I always make sure that I take some time out just to sit with my daughter and to make sure she knows that although mommy is busy, mommy is mommy and mommy is here for you. And I'm never too busy to ask you how your day was, or, about your feelings, or, what do you want? Do you like this? Or to make you feel confident. Like I'm my daughter's biggest cheerleader. Like I be putting a little bit of clear lip gloss on her and look at like, girl, you see, ooh, you look so good. Like I be having her in the mirror and she just be, like like people be like,
she needs to know that she is beautiful. And I remember you saying like how she loved brown skin girl, and anything like that that's really affirming to her identity, being where you are. Like in the Bahamas, I think it's upwards of 80% Black. But being in another country, being in America, being in New York, it's more diverse. She may be seeing one race more than the other, and she may not be seeing herself as much. But you made an effort in that season to make sure that she was affirmed. So you take time to identify everything that's going on with her, no matter what's going on with the business. And I really appreciate that about you. I remember when we went to the conference, you're like, I miss her. And checking in and calling. All those little things really make a difference. Yeah.
And when I'm away, I make sure that I call her like a couple times a day. I'm talking to her like, hey, mommy, miss you. When you're away, children don't be like, okay, all right, well, I'm playing by. Like, short, I don't feel guilty.
That's you, because you do it though. I know some parents like the children just keep calling, I want to talk, because they're not getting that attention. But
Yeah.
because you give it to her, she's like, okay, mommy, I can talk to you later. I know you're calling me back.
Uh-huh.
But even with
Exactly.
your husband, I know you are intentional about getting
Mhm.
away. Like
Yeah.
you will go on a vacation
Yeah.
with your husband. And
Yeah.
so, like, let's talk about that and how you make time to make sure that he feels valued. He's also busy,
Mm-hmm.
but making sure he feels valued and that you both take time to be together.
Yeah. So we both have busy lives, like he has a crazy schedule and I have a crazy schedule, which I think works because
Yeah.
if one is busy and the other ain't busy, you're gonna be like, but you ain't checking for me. You just gone all day.
Mm-hmm.
But because I'm busy over here and he busy over there, we don't really it be like, well, you ain't checking me out. It's not like that. It's just that we take time out during the day just to have like short conversations to be like, hey, how's it going? It's going okay. Love you. Okay. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Or, just to touch base and check on each other and just to, even if someone's having a hectic day, just let I love you. I miss you. And I hope you're having a good day. Like every day throughout the day, like my husband always, that's like a couple times a day, he's like, love you and miss you, thinking of you. That means a lot because
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a second just to look at my phone really quick, and then that makes you feel good.
Yeah.
And the same thing for him because he's so busy and his schedule is so hectic that seeing that message can really turn a bad day around. And so so we make sure that we take time out of the day to to talk to each other. And because both of us are grinding hard and sacrificing, we make sure that when
Mm-hmm.
we vacation, we vacation.
Yes. It ain't no work. It's you seeing pictures of the hotel only. It's
Yeah,
on vacation. Yeah. I
exactly.
really appreciate that. Yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah, I
mhm,
really appreciate that, and I value, how much you value your marriage, and even the way that you speak about your husband publicly.
mhm,
All of that is it's a testament to who you are,
mhm.
as a person, as a wife. And so, as we were talking and listening to you, knowing you personally, you guys, I've known Shanice since I was 11 years old.
Yes.
So do you feel as if you are the modern day version of a P31 woman, or do you feel as if there's something that you haven't checked off? Because as far as from me sitting over here, you fit the bill, but do you feel that way?
Yeah, I feel really fulfilled. I feel like
Yeah.
everything I've prayed for, God has really blessed me beyond anything I could have imagined.
Mm-hmm.
Growing
Mm-hmm.
up, I wanted to be, wife to, a gentle, understanding,
Yeah.
smart that was, God fearing was top, but second was handsome and smart, because I
Mm-hmm.
need conversations to be, you understand? So and he's
Yeah.
blessed he's blessed me with just an amazing husband. And the funny part about it is that when I was in high school, because me and Charles went to the same high school, and
Mm-hmm.
I used to tell my friends that, look at my husband. And we didn't date or anything like that. I just knew that I want a tall, dark, handsome, God-fearing, smart husband. And I
Yeah.
just like, look at
Mm-hmm.
my husband over there sitting under the tent eating his lunch. Yeah, but it just so happened that it happened for real, for real.
So y'all dated after high school.
Huh?
You dated after high school.
No, we were friends. He went to college. I went somewhere
Mm-hmm.
else for college, and we just were always friends. He dated, I dated he dated, I dated, and then we, eventually came together. And I think he always, had his eyes on me, but
Yeah.
and then
The
I
verdict is out. Who was in love first? Who was love at
exactly,
first sight first?
exactly,
So yes, that's good. So we see that you find ways to be intentional. There's no such thing as necessarily balance, but you find ways to make each person feel valued as much as you can throughout your day. So that's one of the key takeaways. I'm
Mhm.
coming to my last list of questions. So you guys, if you have any questions, Make sure that you drop them in the chat. She is very busy, so while you have her on this platform, please ask away. You can ask away, fire away. And so, what about tips for aspiring entrepreneurs, people who dream of one day launching an online business or online boutique? What tips can you give them?
I would tell them definitely go for it. It's not easy, and many days I'm sure you would want to feel like giving up, like I did. But the race is not for the swift. With everything, you're gonna have to research. You're gonna have to study. Just like when you're going to university and you're, studying for a new career. Like this is something. If it's new to you, you're gonna have to study, do your research. Budget to see, how much you can invest in your business because investment is essential. You're going to have to invest, and have a plan, write them down, have goals. Every goal that I wrote down, God exceeded.
Wow.
Yes. So it's important to set goals, strive for them. And more importantly, you're going to have to do a lot of hard work. It's hard. I'm not going to say that it's easy. It's hard and it's not for everyone, So you just have to be prepared to do the work, do the research, write down your goals, pray over them, and the sky is the limit.
So what are the hard things, like if someone is thinking about starting an online business, and what is something right away where you'd be like, no, I don't think that's for you? What?
Okay. I told someone this, I think today, that if you cannot be a good employee, you cannot be a good business owner. Okay? If you cannot be left alone to do a task, if you're not self-driven, then maybe it's not, it's not, everything ain't for everybody. And there's nothing wrong with that. You just have to know what's for you, what works for you. And so if you know that you're a self-starter, you're ambitious, you've always had the desire, to start your own business, and I would definitely say go for it, but it's not for everyone. Everything ain't for everybody,
Definitely.
for sure. But it's a lot of time and a lot of hard work.
I see a question here from Giovanna. Giovanna, I actually think you are our 250th subscriber. So you will get a free ticket to Girls Night In. So please make sure that you DM us over at Wife Her Ministry. So you said, sorry, I may have missed this, but how long have you been in business? So Shanice started her company just 3 years ago.
Yes, 3 years.
And we'll give you the highlight reel so you can check on Instagram. Her following is up to over 120,000. She has hit 6-figure months in just 3 years of business. In fact, earlier than 3 years of business, you would have hit that milestone. And so with that information, does anyone else have any questions? This is your cousin. She is saying how proud she is of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
That is awesome. Thank you for joining us tonight. So, Shanice, how do people find you? I know you don't really push your personal page, but you guys, if you want to be inspired by motherhood, if you want her to pop in and just give you some inspo, some behind the scenes, how can they find you?
They can find me. Well, I don't push my personal page. I hardly post, guys, to be honest. I do so every now and again, but I'm Shanice, SHANICE _ style, STYLE on Instagram.
I'll just put it in.
Yes.
Okay, so I have a question that I know a lot of people will ask you. Do you plan to offer mentorship?
Yes.
Okay. And that's you thinking about this year or in the
I'm
future?
thinking about, I am going to launch this year, the mentorship, because I have a lot of questions and I have a lot of women, that are interested. So I'm definitely planning and working on that.
So how can we find out more about that when you're ready to launch? Would that be following Cutely Covered or?
Yeah, I would announce it on Cutely Covered.
Okay, awesome.
Uh-huh.
And then one of my final question would be, what's your 5 year and 10 year vision for your business? In 5 or 10 years, we probably thinking Charles is going to be based somewhere.
Uh-huh.
And so, what does the business look like with two parents in the household, and like that phase of life? Have you thought about that?
Yeah, well, in 5, 10 years, I hope we'll be on Forbes. um, but yeah, so in 5, 10 years, I definitely see us in a big warehouse because we would have grown to that point.
Hmm.
I definitely see us having a retail chain of stores.
Brick and mortar.
Yes.
Oh,
And
awesome. Yeah, that would be great.
yeah, yeah. Eventually, I don't think brick and mortar is it right now, due to COVID
Hmm.
that's going on. But within that, long-term time frame, I think that, by then things would have turned around. And so,
Hmm.
yeah, so we will definitely start that. And, I want us to be a name that everyone or almost everyone knows, everyone isn't your customer.
Hmm.
So the people that are, hope to reach a wider audience, in that time.
And I see a question here from Kelly. What is your typical day like?
Okay. Um, it's hectic from I wake up. Just being honest. When I wake up, I have, to get in mommy mode, getting my daughter, fighting to get her up, ready for
What
school.
time do you wake up, first of all?
Well, I wake up about 7. Yeah.
Okay.
And I like before I wake her up, I like to just take a few minutes to brace myself for the madness, just to have some quiet time.
Hmm.
Simple. As soon as I open my eyes, just pray, have a little bit of quiet time, and then mommy mode, getting my daughter ready, and then going to the office. And when I'm at the office, it's just constant, nonstop. I don't have a lunch break. I don't have anything. We just work. I just work from I open the door until night.
Wow.
Yeah.
9? You
Um,
said 9?
night until night.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. hmm
So everything is pretty much centered around, outside of family, it's centered around the business and growth, and it's inventory, it's shipping, it's
hmm
packaging. I know. Let's talk about packaging a little bit because that came up in one of our earlier conversations.
hmm
You did not. I don't think you went with like personalized packaging. Was that because of the volume you had in the beginning, or?
Yeah, well, not yet.
Mm,
We are designing personalized packages, but we have a lot of volume, so it's hard to. And we sell hats, so we need a lot of boxes, like by
yeah.
by the
Hmm.
thousands and stuff like that. But we are gonna eventually get personalized packaging.
But that was an expense you took in the beginning, because I was talking to I did some research on it because actually I was going to show you, but I'm using the iPad on it. So
Yeah.
this company that I purchased from, we both know her. She loves branding, so that's a cue for you. And I
Okay.
purchased something from her, and her box is like so. She has all of there's a pink box and it's all designed. So I was like, I should look into something like that. It's $5 a box. Now,
Oh,
me out of
yeah.
the gate, that is not a smart business decision. And so I know that you are a numbers girl as well.
Yeah.
And so I
Mhm.
just can imagine that that just wasn't worth the money
No.
in the
Mhm.
beginning. A Facebook ad would give you much more return on it. I
Which
mean,
one?
and you do a great
Yeah.
job anyway in terms of
Mhm.
making sure that you pick quality pieces and
Yes.
ship them out. So I do have another question here
Mhm.
from Tamara. She says, what made you go into online clothing business when the market seems saturated already to the average individual?
Well, what God has for you is for you. So even if
Yeah.
the market is saturated, um, what is for you is for you. So that doesn't intimidate me to say, well, oh, everyone's doing that, I'm not going to do it. If it's something that I want to do or something that I, talent in, because, there's so many people in the world, someone's, once you find your target market, someone's going to buy from you.
Definitely.
Mhm.
Thank you so much, Shanice. Do you have any parting words you want to leave? You could pick any group. You could pick the entrepreneurs. You could pick the mommies, women in general, the wifeys. Just some parting words of advice.
I would like to, tell people that, us women, we have so much on our shoulders. We have, a husband, we have to be a wife to our husbands. We have to be a mother. And when we have our personal goals of, our personal professional goals, we have that on our backs as well. So it's not easy, having all these hats on. So I just want to encourage women, that always be true to yourself. Figure out what it is that, means most to you and focus on that, write it down, pray over it. You can't have, be a mom, be a wife, and a successful businesswoman. You can do it. You can have it all. It's not easy. It's a sacrifice. But, be encouraged, because when you look back at it, you're going to be glad that, you didn't give up and that you followed something, that you really wanted to pursue.
Amen. Amen. So thank you so much, Shanice. Please follow her business, which is at Cutely Covered. Leave some Bahamas flags under the photos, some hearts under the photos. Make sure you let her know that we appreciated her being on tonight. Tamara says, awesome. I truly believe that. Thank you. And also, Kelly said, thank you for your response. So, again, we are Wife Her Ministry. The Her stands for Healed, Empowered, Restored. And we help women to become her. Any woman across marital status is single, engaged, married, and even divorcees. We want you to become healed, empowered, and restored. And one of the ways we do that is through our monthly focus of the month, January being entrepreneurship, and next month being fitness. Because your girl over here gained 50 pounds since she's been married. So I need to work on that. And so, that's what we're about over at Wife First. So make sure you subscribe, share this video, make sure you're supportive of Shanice and her journey and showing up for her, and stay tuned for when she launches that mentorship. So again, Shanice, thank you so much for spending an hour with us tonight. I really, really appreciate you. God bless you. And I hope to see you soon.
Yes,
I hope streets, but safely.
All right. Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.